Remember how some bands just nailed it from their very first album? Well, stick around. We're about to dive into the best debut albums in hard rock history next. Remember the first time Round and Round played on MTV? I do. Warren DeMartini's solo was epic, especially when he crashed through the ceiling onto that fancy dining room table. Choosing a favorite track is like picking a favorite child, but if I had to, Back for More might just clinch it. So here's to Out of the Cellar by Ratt, an awesome album that totally deserves its spot at number 20. In 1987, I had my first live performance at a local town festival alongside my cousin Shane and friend Joe. We played 5 songs, including the track Somebody Save Me from this very album. I sang the song from behind the drum set with a microphone stand between my legs, trying to play the drums around this thing. This debut album showcases the guitar brilliance of Jeff LaBar, but also introduces us to the incredible talents of frontman Tom Kiefer. The singles Shake Me and Nobody's Fool were in constant rotation on MTV. Ranked at number 19, Cinderella's Night Songs remains a timeless classic. You know, it's funny how music can time travel you right back to a certain era. Take me, for example. I get home from school back in the day, right? And every day at 3:30, like clockwork, I'd be in front of the TV for this show on MTV called Hard 30. Headbangers Ball was also a staple for us metalheads. I caught our next band's first song, Youth Gone Wild, on one of those shows. This whole album is all killer, no filler. Coming in at 18 in life. That was a really bad dad joke. This is Skid Row by Skid Row. Angus Young, Malcolm Young, Phil Rudd, Mark Evans, and the legendary Bon Scott. These men came onto the scene and introduced the world to AC/DC. From the iconic opening riff of It's a Long Way to the Top if you want to rock and roll, to the gritty and relentless power of tracks like TNT, Livewire, and The Jack. Coming in at 17, the debut album from AC/DC, High Voltage. The album opens with Once, and it closes with the haunting Release. Along with those, you get the smash hits Alive, Jeremy, and Even Flow. Amazing songwriting and performances solidified 10, coming in at Sweet 16. This next debut album is a hidden gem in the world of hard rock, showcasing the incredible guitar skills of Jake E. Lee. Lee's performance represents a significant shift towards blues from his previous stint with Ozzy. The record also features Eric Singer on drums, who later worked with Alice Cooper and ultimately joined Kiss. The self-titled album Badlands rightly takes its place at number 15. Quiet Riot's debut album is number 14 on our list and carries the distinction of being the first heavy metal album to top the Billboard 200 chart. The album also introduced Carlos Cavazo, the replacement for Randy Rhoads, to listeners. This breakthrough moment solidifies Quiet Riot's influential role in the history of the genre of heavy metal. This debut album, released in 1977, delivered several rock staples. Mick Jones, the guitarist and primary songwriter, delivers powerful riffs. It's pure 70s hard rock. Coming in at number 13, it's Foreigner's debut album, simply titled Foreigner. Bad Company's self-titled debut album is a riff fest. Guitarist Mick Ralph shines on tracks including Can't Get Enough, Moving On, the title track, and my personal favorite, Ready for Love. Coming in at number 12 is Bad Company's self-titled debut album, Bad Company. Before grunge extinguished the fire of the hair bands, those bands had another enemy:
thrash metal.
Kill 'Em All is a tour de force, raw, unpolished, unapologetic. One cool fact is that many riffs on this album were actually penned by Dave Mustaine. Coming in at number 11 is Metallica's genre-defining masterpiece, Kill 'Em All. Kiss's debut album spawned several songs, still played in their sets some 50 years later. Ace Frehley emerged with timeless licks that inspired countless musicians. While their makeup and performances did take center stage, I still celebrate this first album for providing an amazing soundtrack, not only to my youth, but also an entire generation of Kiss Army members. Kiss's debut clocks in at number 10. Tom Scholz, the band's primary songwriter, guitarist, and keyboardist, created a significant portion of this album in his basement studio in Massachusetts. This was before the band was even signed. 7 out of the 8 songs featured here were singles. Coming in at number 9 is Boston's debut album, Boston. While flying under the radar of mainstream success, this next debut influenced countless bands. Ronnie Montrose's guitar work was a revelation, particularly on the Sammy Hagar-penned Bad Motor Scooter. And Rock Candy? That blue-collar riff is exactly what heavy rock is all about. So for our number 8 spot, I'm giving it up for the groundbreaking debut album from Montrose. Released in 1973, the self-titled Aerosmith album laid the foundation for the rapid rise of a legendary band. It not only introduced us to the incredible guitar duo of Joe Perry and Brad Whitford, but also revealed the immense talent of Steven Tyler. Now, 50 years later, it still embodies the attitude of a band that arrived at just the right time. Lucky number 7 belongs to the debut of a great American band, Aerosmith. You know, the words innovative and revolutionary are thrown around easily these days, but this debut from the Jimi Hendrix Experience truly embodies these terms. At number 6 is none other than Are You Experienced by the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Hey, I know your time is valuable, so I'll get straight to the point. Today's sponsor is SWEETWATER, a company I've dealt with for many years and one that I highly recommend. Below you'll find a link to whatever music gear you need. Also included are links to the gear that I personally use. Clicking on these links won't cost you anything extra, but it really helps support the channel. Now, let's get back to the countdown. All right, we're down to the final 5. This debut was appropriately released on Friday the 13th in February 70, single-handedly ushering in the era of heavy metal. Tony Iommi is a master of the heavy metal riff. And Ozzy? Well, he's Ozzy. His vocals are amazing throughout this 39-minute landmark recording. Bill Ward's inventive drumming is something I absolutely love. And Geezer Butler holds down the bottom end. The number 5 spot goes to an album that established a new benchmark for heavy guitar playing. An absolutely must listen for any aspiring metal guitarist. This is Black Sabbath's debut album, Black Sabbath. 2 words, Randy Rhoads. Fans of Ozzy noticed a major shift when they picked up this 1980 masterpiece. The blistering opening track, I Don't Know, announced that there was a new sheriff in town for rock guitar fans. Ozzy never sounded better on tracks like, well, Crazy Train. The solos in Mr. Crowley are jaw-dropping and truly original. And he certainly left a permanent mark on the world of guitar. This monumental album comes in at number 4. 9 days. 9. That's all it took to record Led Zeppelin's groundbreaking debut album. Every band member, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, and of course John Bonham, makes an unmistakable contribution, with no weak links in this musical chain. At number 3, the phenomenal debut from Led Zeppelin rightfully earns its spot. This debut album came screaming into stores in 1987.
You know where you are?
My favorite track is the Locomotive Night Train. I can't count the times I've seen Sweet Child of Mine on the set list ready to launch into the signature intro. That song served me well as a young guitarist. Appetite for Destruction went on to become the best-selling debut album of all time. So coming in at number 2, an amazing debut rock album, Appetite for Destruction. All right, on to number one. Whoa. Oh, this is trippy. Oh, hey, that'll do. The year was 1981. I remember standing outside a record shop in the mall. On display were Van Halen's first album and Paradise Theater by Styx. My mom had bought me the Van Halen album while my brother got the Styx one. As a 9-year-old kid, I preferred the cover of Paradise Theater, so I traded my Van Halen album for the Styx one. A decision I came to regret. Now, fast forward to 1984. I had 1984 on cassette, and that's when I went back to the beginning. I was obsessed. This debut album established Van Halen as a powerhouse in the rock world. We have this debut sitting at number 1 with a bullet. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.